What's going on, workforce? Bryan here, and in today's video we're going to overanalyze the moon. On Reddit, and the link in the description below, this thread was created talking about something is going on with the moon in Mordona, and you can see in the screenshot here there is a black mark that is centered somewhere around, obviously here within the moon. I can zoom in a little bit, get a little bit more of that image. Now, from my perspective, when looking at it, I'm thinking it's a cloudy day. There's something going on, like just, nothing actually really going on. It's just that there's some clouds that are imposed. And so I decided I was going to go out and get some captures. And so I've captured a lot of the moon from many different angles. So I do apologize. This is going to be a deep dive into the moon. Why are we diving into the moon? Well, because the moon is Zodiark. The moon is something that's deeply within the lore about the sundering, about the rejoining, about the nature of Hydaelyn, Zodiark, how it relates to Stormbringers, how this is Stormbringers, Shadowbringers. Oh my gosh, thanks Square Enix for calling it that. Anyway, the best post from this is somebody who's like, yep, it's getting worse. And you can see here that we they wonderful Photoshop job here of the moon in Mordona. Anyway, guys, so I just wanted to highlight this. Let's go ahead and look at the footage. I'm interested in your thoughts as it relates to, and are we going to see them do something with the moon? If you guys aren't aware, there was a nice callback to previous games where, especially 1.0, in which that they had a lot of action going on with the moon itself. But let's look at the footage and you guys let me know. I'll let you guys know my thoughts as well. Okay, so like I said, I captured a lot of the moon footage. Here I am just out in the Limsa Lamenza area. And as the moon continues to move into the sky, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter to the point where it's pretty much just a small little black smudge from kind of the contour of the moon itself. I was like, is this happening? Like we scroll back, scroll forward, you can see obviously the whitening of the lights there. We move over here and more into Limsa Lamenza, and I'm just kind of watching it continue to move, and it's still got that brightness going on with it. I went over and checked it out in Dragon Head. It's snowy, and it has the same same kind of approach here, that bright white. So my first thought is that there's some light reflecting, additional light from Eorzea, throwing itself onto the moon. That something here is just like, it's natural, it's not supernatural, and it's just broadcasting this whiteness, making the moon really shine bright. Maybe it's a certain phase of the moon itself. The other thought is that, well, I mean, from a thematic perspective, as we talk about the power, the Hydaelyn continuing to get stronger, the light continuing to grow stronger, how it's starting to really overshadow and take over darkness. So there's there's a theme here. But then there's also the sense that it's just some natural occurrence. So I was like, well, what about the rest of the world? So I went out here to Gagane, and you can see that there's no real change in the moon, which is interesting. Obviously we saw some spots in Eorzea where there was no physical change. And I was like, let's see what's going on as well. And so then I decided to go check out Mordona, which kind of really inspired this. And so the challenge with Mordona was literally that every time I was there, it was crazy stormy weather. They had the purple weather. They had all kinds of stuff that you could not see the moon as well. But one day, which was this morning, it was nice and clear evening. And you can see here, just like with Limsa Lamenza, the moon starts to rise. And then as it gets higher in the sky, it's just getting whiter and whiter and whiter. And thus making me again believe that this is more just the occurrence of how the light is reflecting onto the moon. It's still weird that, I guess because of the distance, maybe with Kugane, that it's, not necessarily reflecting it. I also went to the Zim Steppe in a couple different areas. You can see here, the Zim Steppe, no change. But then we go back to the, Mordona. It's just that brightness. You can see it here in the sky. And again, as it rises, it continues to fill. You can see just the graphical setting here. The difference, hopefully it's coming across in the capture. It's like right here, it's starting like that, and then it goes from there and then fills back up. I'm going to go back to the Zim Steppe. No change in movement, no difference in lighting. Not as civilized as like the different areas of Eorzea, so a lot less light emanating from the the planet, I'm assuming. And then we're back here. So here we are actually in And I was like, well, is this just for the like all of Eorzea? This is Ishgard, and you can see here it is a little bit lighter, but it has, you know, it's not changing, it's not getting brighter, especially as the night goes on. But then I jump over here to Gridania, and it's, yeah, it's, you know, bright. It's got that one, again, that dark spot listed right here. But that's pretty much it. There's nothing, you know, fancy. So then I was like, well, what else? What do we got? So I tried to go out to Ul'dah, but it was cloudy, so the moon wasn't showing. And this, I think, is essentially kind of the evidence that, go ahead and pause it, that it's, if the moon was emanating this brightness, that it would be shining through the clouds. There wouldn't be anything, you know, like, again, like I said, magical. I think a lot of it is natural, and that it's either the phase of the moon itself or something else. So then I just kind of pop back out here to Mordona to get a better picture and to see if anything's changed with the moon, and it's still doing its brightness thing. And then what ends up happening is obviously the nice little purple haze comes into play. I kind of zoomed in because I was like, okay, well, is there anything that we can glean? What's up with this face, the man in the moon? Anyway, sorry, is happening. But then you can kind of see here, then all of a sudden it starts shifting to the purple. And then it just, if you start looking at it frame by frame, it looks really freaky. So I kind of decided I was going to zoom in on that so you can kind of see it. Little freakiness, like, wah. But yeah, here it is right before the big purple. And then it just kind of fades into the purple haze as well. Guys, so as part of the thread goes, a part of me really would think and would love to see them do something with this. The 1.0 to 2.0 story with the Lesser Moon of Dalmon was amazing, and to have it kind of call back to the moon itself, which has been as a part of the lore, as a part of the story, as a part of Zodiark, has been really interesting. I really like how they did that, where every patch over patch small subtle changes occur. So we don't know if we'll see. We'll have to go and look at the moons as it relates in 4.5 here on Tuesday and more. So we let the moon set in the wrong direction by scrubbing it that way. I'd love to know your thoughts, guys, on this, on the thread, what you guys expect out of Shadowbringers. But I figured I'd put some time in, see what we could kind of discover. But just like we saw in Ul'dah, the moon isn't blasting through the clouds, and they don't appear to be too thick because you can see some of the stars here as well. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I think it's, I don't know, I'm not going to say it's not happening, because it is interesting, that especially in some of these other areas. But then you go back to the Azim Steppe and Kugane, and it's, you know, there's nothing there. So anyway, guys, for Work to Game, my name's Bryan. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.
Oh, hello. Were you expecting somebody? Chuck-like? Well, I'll never tell where he is. Only that if you want to see your friend again, you should totally hit subscribe. And maybe even a thumbs up. Thumbs down don't make me happy. And when I'm not happy, something happens to Chuck. I'm not joking. Goodbye. Subscribe. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. See you next time.